Question, if you don't mind. I'm Jennifer with Channel 7 WXYZ.
Thanks so much.
So, as you mentioned, you're running for the same seat that your great uncle vacated. Have you spoken to him about your desire to run and your decision to run?
Absolutely. So my uncles supported me every step of the way, from writing those high school letters saying I think my nephew's a great guy, to seeing me in Washington, D.C. as a freshman at Georgetown and out on the Hill as an intern. And I believe that he's spoken in terms of what he believes in his endorsement, but I know that he's always encouraged every young person to get out there. I spoke to him the night of my last kickoff in November, and it was very, very encouraging to know that we've always had his watchful eye to see that folks continue on. But I have not spoken to my uncle since November 30th.
Will you be asking him for his endorsement?
We're going to be asking a lot of folks for endorsement, from the Congressional Black Caucus, those members who are out and fighting for their communities, to the members across our city and state, the local leaders. We're asking everyone for their support, but most importantly are the citizens of the 13th Congressional District.
If his son doesn't run, do you think that you would probably get that endorsement?
I'm not sure. I know as in every person who's committed so much to our country, from passing landmark legislation for the Martin Luther King holiday that we just observed, to all of the things that he's done, I know that it'd be an honor to have his support. However, everyone's got a right to endorse who they choose, and we'll continue to ask everyone for their support all the way to Tuesday, August 7th, 2018, 199 days from now.
And what do you think sets you apart from all the other many candidates? Some have already announced, some planning to announce as early as next week. What sets you apart?
When I get to Washington, I won't have to learn my way around. I had a great amount of experience working not only there as a student, but for the city of D.C., learning those communities, and then also in terms of the R&R that you need to be able to get stuff done in D.C. It's research, and particularly now in this Republican environment, it's resilience. I'm currently working in a Senate minority in our state capital that's 27-11, and fighting to get stuff done is going to take someone that understands that environment, understands how to work with local leadership, and understands how to get things done. As the 4th District State Senator, I currently represent a very large amount of the 13th Congressional District. And going back to over 10 years ago, I served as a volunteer in our Congressional District. I served as the treasurer of our Congressional District. I know the mayors, I know the precinct delegates, and I'm excited to continue to represent them in Washington.
Your impressions of Detroit and the development in recent years downtown and the mayor's building?
Well, there's a reason that we're on the west side right now. There's a reason that we're on Tireman and at Sampson, where I served as a student teacher, full circle. Really, we want to bring folks and bring the attention that now that Detroit is booming and going after big bids, we've got to continue to let that lifeblood come out to the regular citizens working on the east side, the west side, and some of the communities that feel forgotten. I know there's been an incredible, outstanding, and really record-breaking resurgence downtown Detroit, but it's time to continue to bring all of our citizens along to that same recovery mode. Simply put, parts of downtown on the east side and the west side could be a mirage if you don't ever get a chance to take public transportation that we're seriously lacking in, and other forms to get down there and be a part of it. But I think the upside is that with the right representation and the right knowledge of where we need to go in the built environment, we can get things done and get it done faster than any city ever has.
So I know you've had a career in politics clearly already, but stepping up to more of a national stage and just sort of witnessing some of the things that your great uncle has gone through in his time. He's clearly had some incredible accomplishments, but also faced some rockier moments, and especially what have you learned from being able to watch his career, both good and bad, that you are going to be stepping forward and kind of acknowledge that? Maybe, you know, what have you learned from watching your uncle deal with the good things and the bad things? Absolutely.
It's a knowledge of of the past, but at the same time, a willingness and an openness to accept that there's been some serious failures in the culture of our country. And I think it starts at the earliest ages, whether we're looking at civil rights, women's rights, the rights of those who immigrate here. We've been viewing this the wrong way. I think there's a real opportunity to bring the level of understanding up, and it starts now. Whether it's accusations that are made, whether it's women's right to speak up. In the state Senate just yesterday, we were dealing with these same issues, and how we treat them with compassion and with honesty is going to really tell the rest of the world and the rest of the country what we are. And I think for too long we've been taught that just because of legislation, a bill passes in the 90s for sexual harassment, a bill passes in the 60s for civil rights, that's it. We've got work to do. What the good news is, we're up for the challenge.
You mentioned DACA, and we're on the verge of a possible government shutdown. Your thoughts on that? DACA plays a big role in that. What would you do if you occupied that seat? And the fact that there's nobody in that seat now, is that going to hurt the effort, to keep the government up and running?
Absolutely. We need strong advocates for DACA and strong advocates for the Dreamers. Folks who are brought here as children, folks who have particularly fought for this country and who have served in this country, who are now being broken up and sent to places they've never been, is outrageous. To speak particularly about more Detroit of that, we've got a situation where the federal government has arrested and had ICE lockups of Chaldean Americans who also have been targeted unfairly, folks who have served time, folks who have been a vibrant part of this community after any mistake they made, were locked up and facing deportation to a country that they don't speak the language. That's wrong, it's unmoral, it's unjust, and I plan on being a huge voice for that in Washington, D.C. Thank you. And thank you to my family. I appreciate everyone for coming out. My dad, my sister, friends, the folks that have worked with me in the community. I appreciate your support, and we're going to need you now more than ever. Take care.